Who are... Wait. You're the new general, aren't you?
How did you know?
I saw you and that caravan come in last night. I heard what happened on the Golden Road. Dwarves attacking humans. They were either completely hammered or completely out of their minds. Anyway, you'll be replacing Tahar, won't you? Good thing the Fire Wielders won't be fighting for the Wolf Guard for the next few moons. Otherwise, you'd be in for a rough time.
Why would I be in for a rough time?
Well, mainly because we orcs don't care as much about titles as we do deeds. Tahar earned our respect, whereas you're still a blank slate. And on that note, you should probably talk to the Circle Mage, Iria.
What about?
Well, I overheard your audience with the Queen, and knowing Iria, I don't think she's very happy about the decision to replace Tahar with you. The two of them were really close. As friends, I mean. But it's best if you ask her yourself. Either way, all the best on your mission, General. I'll see you around.
Hello?
By the... Ellen's reins, you gave me a start. Who are you?
General Arev. I'm the new commander of the Wolf Guard.
Oh, I see. Yes, we were told. I assume you came to familiarize yourself with the Guard?
Yes.
Good. Well, I'm Elian Valath, Scryer of the Moorhere, and the one in charge of the Elven division of the Wolf Guard. But you probably knew that already.
I did. What's the state of the Moorhere troops?
Our state? Absent. Almost all of our forces are currently up in Utran, helping to secure our new settlement, and it'll be some time until they're back. I hate to say it, but for now and the near future, you'll have to make do with the human part of the Guard. Listen, I have a question. That dark elf that's been walking around the keep, would you know who he is? I've been told he was at your audience with the Queen today.
I don't, but he'll accompany us on our mission, so I might find out.
Ah, fair enough. Then do let me know when you find out. I'm curious. Either way, I'll be out on King's Vantage if you need anything. Good luck on that mission, General. My prayers will be with you.
Done already?
Something I've been meaning to ask you. What do you know about that dark elf? Wraith.
Not much. We briefly worked together during the Purity Wars. He helped us resolve a problem for the Moorhere elves and then left.
Is he trustworthy?
In order to answer that question, I'd need to know what he's here for. I don't think his intentions are bad, though. The Queen has good intuition when it comes to people.
You're a Circle Mage. So what exactly is your role in the Wolf Guard?
Officially? None. But I guess you could call me a counselor of sorts. Plus, the Circle's and the Wolf Guard's responsibilities overlap. We oversee the use of magic, they oversee the country's safety. Both are diplomats, so to speak. So, since Her Majesty ordered it, I guess I'll be sticking around for a while longer. That is, unless you have a problem with that.
On the contrary, your advice will be helpful.
Well, I'll do my best.
Where are the Wolf Guard's troops stationed?
In the barracks, of course. These are the headquarters. If the entirety of the Wolf Guard troops lived and slept here, it'd be rather cramped.
Makes sense. I think I'm done. Let's prepare for the mission.
Sure. Just let me know when you want to head out and I'll be there. Anything else?
Well, yes. Zara said you're not too happy with the Queen's decision.
Did he?
Look, I know you and Tahar were close. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thanks. It's just... Tahar gave so much for this country. So bloody much. Now here you are, the new leader of the Wolf Guard, handpicked by the Queen herself, replacing a hero like you'd replace an old pair of boots. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know you, but this just feels... wrong.
Well, I'm not in charge yet. I still have to prove myself.
Yeah. And something tells me that you will.
I understand why you'd feel that way. I guess all I can hope for is that you give me a chance.
I'll do my best. Anyway, if you want to, we can have a chat after the mission. I need some time to clear my head. I'll see you on the morrow, at dawn. Find yourself a good horse in the meantime. This'll be a tough ride.
Cool, earthy air rushes to the mine's entrance like a mountain's exhale. Where once this was a hub of activity, filled with the sounds of pickaxes and creaking mining carts, it is now an empty carcass. But though the miners and laborers have long since moved on, evidence of their passing remains. Scratches on the walls to mark the passage of days. An old fire pit smothered in the thick layers of ash. And in one corner, a crude, half-completed drawing of a naked elf maiden riding a dragon.
All right then. The quartermaster said the search party tracked that engineer to here.
And then they all vanished.
Exactly. Let's see what we can find.
I take it you mercenaries aren't the talkative kind.
Oh, I do like to talk. Just not when I'm on a mission. If you want to, we can go grab a mug of ale once we're back in Greykeep.
Sure, why not?
What do we have?
Tiara's breath. Thank you.
Who are you?
Captain Garrett Ryal, 8th Division of the Royal Army, stationed in Greykeep.
The search party.
How were you captured?
Those Purity soldiers ambushed us in here. They must have been down here for a while. They knew the ins and outs of this place too well.
Sounds like rats.
What do you know about your captors?
To be honest, not much. They're former Purity. That much you can tell by their robes. Their leader is someone named Kadma, but that's all we know.
Kadma, huh? Must be holed up somewhere else in the mine. They could have just killed you. Why did they take you prisoner?
I don't really know. When they locked us in here, they actually apologized.
Apologized?
Crazy, right? They've been feeding us too, but other than that, we've just been losing our minds in the dark.
What about the engineer? Is he here?
Marcus? How do you know about Marcus?
The quartermaster told me about the search. He thought the Wolf Guard could help.
The Wolf Guard? Then you're... Tiara's breath. They took him deeper into the mine, but that must have been, I guess, a week ago at least?
Then we need to keep moving.
Wait. Let us come with you. The rest of our unit is in here somewhere. And we want to get back at the bastards who did this to us.
Might be good to have some backup. All right, let's go.
Iria, a question. That other Circle Mage, the Dreamweaver, she used to be an assassin before she joined Tahar, didn't she?
Iana? Yes.
So would you say she has... changed? Has she become more human since the wars?
I don't know. She still has that thirst for violence, but she doesn't act upon it.
I see. Interesting.
So I take it Dirk and Nolan are dead?
I think those are the least of your worries right now. Who are you? Why have you abducted all these people?
Blazing fools. I'm Kadma, leader of what remains of Aeonir's faithful. And we didn't abduct anyone. We were only trying to keep our presence here a secret. When someone found out, we had no choice. The Crown still wants our heads, and we couldn't let them report us.
So you thought imprisoning them was the better alternative?
What else were we supposed to do?
How did you capture the engineer?
He stumbled into our camp. We didn't know who he was.
So you weren't after his military designs?
What? No! Why would we be? We have no use for them. When we found out he was part of the Royal Army, we knew it was only a matter of time before they sent people to look for him.
I told you to let us go, Kadma. We wouldn't have reported you.
I wish I could believe that.
If you were worried about people reporting you, why didn't you leave?
And go where? This mine has water, shelter. Out on the road, we're vulnerable. We might as well walk ourselves to the Greykeep gallows.
Why keep them as prisoners? Why didn't you just kill them?
Hasn't there been enough bloodshed? We don't want to kill anyone. The first person who found us, we panicked. We captured them and couldn't let them go after that. Of course, then someone came looking for her, and so on.
What do you mean by what remains of Aeonir's faithful?
During the Purity War, a lot of people flocked to Rondar Lacane's banner, claiming they wanted to walk in the light. Liars. All of them. They wanted power, riches, or just the excuse to kill in the Allfather's name. We spit on their graves. We are the true believers. The true followers of Aeonir's words. And thanks to the Crown's persecution of anyone involved with the Purity, we are the last ones left.
Don't let her fool you. True believers or not, they murdered and tortured people for the Purity. They're as guilty as any other Lacane fanatic.
Yes, we fought for the Purity. Not with joy, but with duty. You're a soldier. Surely you understand that when your leader gives an order, you follow without question. Wouldn't you?
Let me guess. You're also the Purity loyalists who ambushed the Wolfguard, aren't you? You killed Tahar.
What? Why on Io would we do that? We're trying to survive here, not give the Crown more reason to hunt us.
Cut the bullshit. You murdered Tahar to avenge Rondar Lacane. And then you thought you could get away with it by hiding out in this cave.
No! I didn't even know Tahar was dead. Yes, I know you probably think all ex-Purity are the same. But the last thing we want is more violence. All we ever wanted was to help spread the light of Aeonir. Please, you have to believe me!
Why should I believe anything you're saying?
Look, all we want is to be left alone. During the war, we were only following our faith. Our leaders pointed the way, and of course we accepted it as truth. We were tricked, misled. We left the Purity when we realized what they really were. But the Crown doesn't care. They want our heads simply because of our association. Can you blame us for wanting to live?
That's beside the point. You have committed war crimes, and for that you have to answer to the Crown.
No!
Thanks for the rescue. I was starting to believe I'd never leave here. I told her to let us go and make a run for it, but I guess this is better in the end.
They had it coming. What matters is that you're safe. Now make your way out of here. I'll see you back to Greykeep.
Will do. Thanks again, General.
2 days into your journey to Windwall, a storm at the Gate of Kings forces your cohort to a halt. You withdraw into a nearby village, where you wait for it to pass. On the 5th day, you arrive at the Hallett Windwall border. According to your map, Dracot is near.
All right, this is it. The Surfacer's outpost should be just up ahead.
Dwarves fighting dwarves? This is absurd.
Well, maybe once we've recaptured the town, we can make sense of this.
What about the soldiers? Should we wait for them to catch up?
They'll be here within the hour. Let's use the time to get a picture of the situation first.
Sounds good. Gives us some time to appreciate the scenery.
By the Guardians, help! Someone help me!
Hear that?
Yes. Someone is in trouble. The voice came from on top of that cliff.
Undead! Look out! They are tied to the energy spheres! You need to kill them when they're inside of the spheres! Arians, quills! That was close.
Who are you?
Ralph Mallory, mage of the Greyfell University. And this man is... well, I don't know.
Can't he speak for himself?
That's the thing, he can't. Where do I start? I'm here on behalf of my master, who is studying dwarven burial sites. However, when I came here, I found this dwarf kneeling in front of the altar. He was, how should I say, empty, drained.
Your master studies dwarven burial sites. Why?
Why? To gain knowledge. This is what archaeology is all about, isn't it? To unravel the unknown, to shed light into the darkness.
I see. I assume by drained you mean that he doesn't react to you.
He doesn't react to anything. His body works, his eyes contract, but there seems to be no sentience in him whatsoever. No soul.
Interesting.
Any idea who this man is? A hunter? A digger?
Judging by his clothes, I'd say he's a worker or a scout, but I doubt we'll find out.
Do you know anything about the conflict in Dracot?
You mean those Windholm dwarves who attacked the mining town? Yes, they are the reason I'm giving Dracot a wide berth. I'm here for the graves, not to meddle in dwarven politics.
Where do these corpses come from?
Well, when the dwarf didn't react to me, I tried some things to rekindle his aura. Then, all of a sudden, these undead crawled out of the earth. My guess is that my magic triggered a resurrection.
Tell me more about this man's condition.
I would if I could. Frankly, I've never seen anything quite like it. His body is there, but his mind is just, well, gone.
You should go back. This is a war zone now.
Yes, I heard about that. The dwarves. Look, why don't we join forces? Whatever you're here for, I think I can help. If not, at least allow me to express my gratitude. I have some coin to spare.
Wait. We can't just leave this man here. We should end his suffering.
You mean you want to kill him? But why?
I'm not sure about this, General. What if he wakes up?
It's an order. All right. You can join us. Just be aware that it'll be dangerous.
Understood. Thanks, friend. Lead the way. I'll follow.
General Erev, isn't it? What took you so long?
We got held back by a storm. Are you the leader?
Oh, I guess you could say that. Oi. I'm Haratir Oakenbraid, Mayor of Dracot. Former mayor, that is.
So the Windholmers are still controlling the town?
Oi. Frankly, I'm at my wit's end. Dwarves fighting dwarves. This is just wrong. It's gotta have something to do with that sodding priest.
Priest?
Right. How would you know? The Windholmers have shut themselves off since King Rorik's death. Apparently a former priest of Nihaf seized power. Arrakis.
Doesn't King Rorik have a son?
Oi, he does. A useless dandy, more concerned with the latest beard fashion than politics. If this Arrakis is even half as ruthless as his goons, I doubt the prince was much of an obstacle to him.
What do you know about this priest?
Not much, I'm afraid. I tried to reach out to my brother who still lives in Windholm, but I haven't heard back yet. Frankly, I'm a bit worried. If we manage to capture one of the attackers, maybe we can interrogate him.
Good idea. All right, let's talk tactics. How do we reconquer the town?
Well, I'd suggest brute force. But there's a little problem we'll have to solve first. The barrier at the aqueduct. Briefly put, the Windholmers had their Earthshapers cast some sort of magical barrier over the only passage into the valley. We're stuck on this side.
Earthshapers?
Dwarven mages. They have the power to control earth and rocks as an elementalist controls ice and fire. Iskrim, the Circle Mage, is one of them.
You heard the lady.
We need to find a way through if we're to retake Dracot.
Aye, we do. But right now, this sorry excuse for an outpost couldn't withstand a horde of rabbits. In other words, we should reinforce this place before we take any action. You brought soldiers and craftsmen, didn't you?
A few as backup for your men, yes? They should be here any minute.
Grand. Since I'm no commander, how about you giving us a hand reinforcing this place? My friend Egram, that pale lad over there, can give you a hand with that. Let him know that you'll handle things from here. And take a look at that barrier if you want to. We'll talk tactics once you've gotten this place into shape.
General? There we have it. The only way into the valley, blocked.
Hey, you there! What are you doing here?
Who's she?
Let's find out.
Wolfguard. Been a while since I've seen that crest. Let me guess, you're here because of the Windholmers.
We are. Who are you? And what are you doing out here?
Kurga Dwalmir. And I'm here to admire that lovely piece of dwarven engineering. Just like you, I'd wager.
What can you tell us about it?
You mean other than the fact that this whole situation is a Nihal forsaken mess? All I know is that the mad Windholmers put this barrier here. Probably because they don't want anyone behind this wall while they're busy ransacking Dracot.
Any idea how to get through?
Well, I'm no Earthshaper, but I do know that a barrier like that requires a device to sustain it. A little dwarven engineering, if you will. Get rid of that device, and the barrier comes down.
Any idea why the Windholmers are even here? Why did they attack Dracot?
Darlin, I have no idea. But it might have to do with that Arrakis fellow in Windholm. Word has it he's done little else than instigate the people in the past few months. And maybe this is the result.
Well, so long.
So long.
Tell me, Wraith, how did you convince the Queen to grant you an audience?
I told them I was a dark elven prince.
And they didn't even bother to verify that?
I just had to shout and threaten long enough. If there's one good thing to be said about Nortandian bureaucracy, it's that they're subservient to authority.
Well played.
Are you Egram?
That's me. I saw you talk to Harrit here. Does that mean you're the general the Queen promised us? Where are the troops? No offense, but I expected something with a little more...
General Arev!
Corporal, just in time.
Well, that answers my question.
Mayor Heretier said that our workers and yours should join together to reinforce the outpost.
Ah, I see. Aye, I can do that. Best we start with that old trading post over there. With your help, we could turn it into our base of operations.
Sounds good. Corporal, send in the workers.
Will do!
So, looks like you're all set up, huh? Grand. Tell me if you need to know anything about, dwarven warfare. Though, that sounds a bit fancy.
Appreciated. So, how is a dwarven economy different from a human economy?
Good question. First and foremost, do you know what a dwarven pacifier and a dwarven house have in common?
No.
Both are made of stone. We dwarves use stone for almost everything, and we need lots of it if we want to flourish. Meaning your first priority should always be to find quarries and build as many stone cutters as you can. You'll need them.
You guys don't use wood, do you?
Why? No pun intended. Would we? It's harder to gather. Breaks easily and attracts fire like a dung heap attracts flies. Best thing you can do with it is to burn it. That's why we only have charcoal burners. They collect the wood, then burn it so we can use it for the smithies.
Where can I equip and hire soldiers?
Barracks for the simple folk, workshops for the more advanced contraptions, golems, dropships, balloons. But I'm afraid we can't help with the latter. We don't have the equipment for these advanced units.
How can we enlist more soldiers? We'll need them if we're to march against Dracot.
That one's easy. Just ask in the capital. It'll cost us, but it's worth it.
I think we need more workers. Is there anything I can do to make that happen?
There might be. Check in the capital. They might have a plan.
All right, thanks. I best get going now.
All right. Nihalf, guide your sword, Erev. And our axes.
All right, we've reinforced the outpost. What now?
Now, we deal with the barrier. Have you taken a look at it yet?
Actually, yes. We met a dwarven woman there.
Kurga?
That was her name, yes.
Oi, that sounds just like her. See, Kerriger is more than just some hermit. She's a former engineer of the Bastion, and a damn fine weapon and runesmith. He used to put some of the best smiths back in Windholm to shame. Now, if we could somehow convince her to fire up that forge of hers again, and fashion a couple of runestones for us, we could do something about that barrier. Because, believe it or not, some of my men here actually used to be Earthshapers, and could use Kurga's runestones to dispel the barrier. You follow?
You want me to convince Kurga to fashion runestones for your Earthshapers?
So that they use their magic to bring down the barrier. Exactly.
Why do you need me for this? Can you talk to Kurga yourself?
Well, it's complicated. Suffice it to say that Kurga and I have a bit of a history together. Also, your word as the General of the Wolf Guard carries a lot more weight than mine.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
That's all I'm asking for. Good luck.
Back again, Wolfguard.
So, Haratier told me you're a former engineer.
Aye. What else did he tell you?
That you could equip his Earthshapers with runestones so they can bring down the barrier.
Darling, even if I fashioned them the best runestones on EO, the buffoons would sooner blow themselves up than dispel that barrier. So, short answer, no. Not going to happen.
They can't be that incompetent. Why don't you want to help them?
Because Haratier is involved, that's why. He can beg and grovel and send as many Nortandian generals as he likes. It's just not going to happen. Tough titty, said the kitty.
What happened between you two?
Oh, before or after he told me that he loved me, swore the granite oath, lived off my savings for a year, and then ran off with some young elven wench.
Ouch.
You realize that there are lives at stake here, don't you?
Look, I know you mean well, but aside from the fact that I enjoy seeing fate finally getting back at that bloody ox, I'm not that keen on stirring up trouble with the Windholmers. I know better than to pick a fight with the Bastion.
The Windholmers have killed people, and they'll kill more if we don't find out what's going on.
Well, I guess you have a point. All right. For starters, I have a better idea than handing magical explosives to a bunch of nitwits. I told you that barrier is a result of some lovely dwarven engineering, didn't I? Well, thankfully, I'm at your disposal. I'll destroy that device they have set up and dispel the barrier myself. Then I don't have to deal with Haratir, and you can go retake the town. Everyone wins.
Why didn't you suggest this earlier?
Because I didn't want trouble with the Windholmers, that's why. Now, are we doing this or what?
Do it then.
Lovely. Stand back. Ow.
What happened?
The barrier must have had some kind of defensive mechanism. I'd need some sort of protection in order to... Oh, knee half. It just had to be Haratir's men, didn't it? All right. As much as I hate to say it, it looks like we need those Earth Shapers after all. They can use a protection spell while I take care of that device. I'll get Haratir's men outfitted with the rune stones they need. No guarantee that the buffoons won't try to eat them instead of use them, but that's the best I can do without better materials. Also, since this might take a while, there's something else you could help me with, but that's up to you. It involves trolls.
What can Earthshapers do exactly?
Protect. While on the march, they're very vulnerable, but once they draw their rune circle, they can really turn the tide of battle. They're immobile while they cast their magic, but their magic protects everyone in their vicinity. Pretty handy in a fight. Or, like we have here, dealing with the consequences of idiotic dwarven squabbles.
What exactly happened between you and Haratir?
Never mind.
Are there lots of women in the Bastion?
No. One of the reasons I left that shit pile behind me, frankly. No matter how good my work was or how committed I was in the army, every day some nitwit comrade came up with a new joke, suggesting that I'd be better fit crafting soup ladles than crossbows. And it's not as though I didn't know what I was getting into. When I told my mother of my plans to join the Bastion, she warned me that I was in for a rough time. Of course, I brushed it off as nonsense. But anyway, let's not go there. It's ancient history now.
You said something about trolls.
Aye. There are some in the caves a few steps east of here. I've been meaning to deal with them on my own, but... let's face it, I'm not all that young anymore. Long story short, it's in both of our best interests to get rid of them. All this ruckus at the aqueduct probably woke them. And we don't need angry trolls rampaging through our base while you're busy reconquering Dracot.
All right. I'll take care of it. You mentioned you could do more for Haratir's Earthshapers with better materials. What kind of improvements are you talking about?
Well, if we had a proper forge and some iron, I could give them a dandy little upgrade. I'm sure the troops would appreciate the extra sense of security as well. Your call, though. They should be up to the task, as is.
A forge and some iron, huh? I'll see what I can do.
You do that. Anything you need?
Okay. The Earthshapers are ready. Let's give it another try.
All right. Just give them the order to cast their protection spell over me. Let's hope this whole thing doesn't end up in flames. Now, on my mark. 3, 2, 1.
Well, I'll be damned. You did it. Grand, General. Grand.
Thank Kurga and the Earthshapers. Now we can move back into the valley and retake the town.
Right. And send those buggers back into the mountains where they belong. Not an easy task. According to the scouts, the Windholmers didn't just dig into Dracot when they pushed us out. They also spread out over the whole area. Defensive outposts, in other words. Lots of them. And of course, that means they'll have scout and troops patrolling the area too. Even with your support, I doubt they'd hesitate to teach us a lesson. The scouts also mentioned they noticed several new defensive towers spread out all over. That'll be a pain. It's a long road to Dracot, General, but I know you'll get us there. Bottom line, we're in for a rough time, but so are they.
Now that we've removed the barricade, do you think the Windholmers will launch a counterattack?
They might. But judging from how they've acted thus far, I think they'll dig themselves in instead and wait for us to take the first step. That's both a blessing and a curse. It gives us time to carefully plan our attack, but we will have to blast our way through a ton of defenses.
True. No matter how well we fight, this will be a bloody battle. Can you think of anything that will help us make the battle easier?
I'm afraid not. Wait. Of course. The tunnel.
Enlighten us.
There's an old mining shaft east of here. Now, I might be wrong, but I think it leads into the Dracot outskirts. You could take a small troop and clear the tunnels for our workers. Then they could stabilize it and we could send the rest of our forces through, right behind enemy lines. It's a risk for you, but it might save us a lot of lives.
Good idea. Well then, let's get to it. We'll free Dracot and find out what in blazes is going on in Windholm.
Your word in Nihalf's ear. Just keep in mind that it's fathers and sons you'll be sending into battle, will you? They trust me. And I trust you. So let's not let them down.
I'll do my best.
That's all I can ask. Nihalf, guide your sword, General.
Interesting.
Anything you need?
Is there anything else we can do to help with our plan?
Aye, there is. Long story short, I had been working on some special schematics shortly before I left the Bastion. If you help me get my hands on some moon silver, I might be able to tinker with your troops' equipment a little.
All right. Any idea where I can find some?
Well, most of it is in Dracot, but there's an old mining post up north that might still have some in their storage. Last I heard, some bandits had taken it over, but who knows now with the Windholmers. Still, that's your best bet.
Okay. I'll see what I can do. I took care of those trolls.
You did? Grand. If anything tears down me hut now, it'll be a bunch of crazy Windholmers, not a furious troll. Here, you earned yourself this. Thanks again.
So long.
Aye.
As you walk further into the dark passage, the air grows still and stale, a stark contrast to the bracing autumn breeze you just left behind. You cough as you get a lungful of mold and decay. When at last the passage opens into a cavernous hall, you see the first of many dwarven tombs lined up against the walls. Whoever these dwarves were, they are long forgotten.
A living being. At last.
Are you?
I've waited 300 years for this moment. Come, join me.
Tell me, Wraith. At that first audience with the Queen, you said that you saw Tahar's disease coming. Why?
As I said, because there's only so much a mind can take. Tahar was troubled, Iria. When your own father is a madman who tries to kill you, what do you expect? These kind of things, they leave a mark on you. Some people can beat it, some can't.
So you're saying Tahar was weak?
No, just human.
Nothing better than a lungful of fresh air.
Let's give the miners the signal so they can start digging.
You there? Help us! Get us out of here!
Wolfguard?
Scheiben, you must be the one responsible for that battle out there, aren't you? Are they gone?
Yes. I'm guessing you're miners. Do you know if these dwarves have a leader?
Oh, yes, they do. He's the one who ordered to lock us in here and then turned tail when he heard the battle. I suppose you have a score to settle with him too, don't you? Can you get us out of here once you have? He probably still has the key to this cage.
I'll see what I can do. Hang tight.
Just like Dracot, the mine is in a state of ruin. Carefully stacked ore chests and barrels have been broken open and plundered. Shovels and pickaxes lie scattered on the ground.
What are you?
Yes, General. Me. I have to hand it to you. For a gravel eater, you're fucking tenacious.
Gravel Eater? Gravel Eater? Why do you keep calling us that?
Because that's what you and these beardless surface dwellers really are. Gravel. Brittle stone that couldn't withstand a child's fist.
Says the man who fled the battlefield to hide in a mine.
Oh, I didn't flee. You're right where I want you.
All right, we want answers. What's the meaning of this? Why are you attacking your own kind? And who in blazes is Arrakis?
So you've heard. Fine, I'll tell you. Arrakis, he is the one who will restore our kingdom to its former glory.
Restore? Windholm is better off than it has been in centuries.
Materially, maybe. Not as a people. We've become weak. Dwarves who live in the sunlight, who mingle with surface folk and defile our blood. Men who don't know which end of an axe to hold. If things don't change, our people will soon be no more than a bunch of degenerates living under the thumbs of their wenches and human masters. An empire of weaklings. Of gravel-eaters. Arrakis reminded us of what we once were. The Granite Sons. Men like stone. Powerful. Impregnable. Everlasting.
Whoever Arrakis is, King Rorik's son is the rightful heir to the throne. What did you do to him?
Oh, don't worry. We didn't kill him. He's a sissy who likes to surround himself with gravel-eaters such as yourself. But he still has royal blood in him. Suffice it to say that he's currently undergoing a bit of re-education.
There must be a diplomatic solution for this. Why didn't you negotiate?
Why didn't we let your wench queen lull us into another web of lies? You humans say one thing but mean another. There can be no diplomacy with your kind.
But how does Moonsilver fit into all this? That is why you're here, isn't it? The same reason why you raided our caravan.
You learn fast, Gravel Eater. Aye. This is about the Moonsilver. For a monument, to be more precise. A symbol of this new era. But enough talking. Let's finish what we started last time. Well fought, human.
Boy, Nihal. Rugram. What's the meaning of this?
Oh, well. Here he comes.
You know this man?
That's my brother, goddammit. Rugram, what in blazes is the meaning of this?
Get away from me. You're a gravel eater just like them. Or did you think I forgot about that elf you mingled with?
What?
This man is the leader of the Windholm Dwarves, Haratir. He led the attack on your town.
What? But...
Gravel no longer. We are of granite, human. Mark my words. We'll take back what's ours.
A teleport rune. Never gets old.
I don't know what to say.
You had no idea your brother was behind this?
No. He wasn't even in the Bastion. I mean, we didn't speak for a while, but this? I had no idea.
Well, it's over. Dracot is free.
Aye. But at what cost? Did you at least get the information you came here for? Why are they doing this?
It's a long story.
Yes? This is madness. This is just madness.
Will you be able to defend Dracot in case the Windholmers send reinforcements?
Aye, with your troops, we should. Also, I don't think I'll come back. They've plundered our entire Moonsilver stash. Dracot is ruined. But at least we're safe now.
How do you feel about all this? Arrakis, the Sons of Granite, the Gravel Eaters?
What do you think? It's terrible. I can't believe our people would fall for a hate-monger like this. But give me some time to gather my thoughts first. All this, it's a lot to take in.
Well, I don't think there's much more the Wolfguard can do. Dracot is free and we got the information we wanted. Unless we can assist you with anything else, we should prepare for our journey back to Greyfell now.
We'll manage. Safe travels, General. And thank you. I wish things would have turned out differently, but you saved the town. And that's what matters.
What do you need? All right, let's go back up and prepare for the journey home.
Yeah. Though we might want to free those prisoners back in the town first.